All right. So before I get going, I do my little intros. So my little intro, and it's more of just a reminder for Christians before I get into what I'm going to talk about on today. And it's just about knowledge, right? The danger of not knowing, being equipped to stand. Okay. So being equipped to stand. When you have no knowledge, you're at a disadvantage, right? You're at a disadvantage. So some of the things that when you have no knowledge of certain things, you have no strategy, right? You have no awareness. You have no plan. You have no offense. You have no defense. You have no goal. You have no preparation. You have no vision. And you have no discernment. Me as being a baseball player back in the day, we used a lot of techniques the higher we went, right? To try to get an advantage over our opponents. And so what we would do is we would look at what they gave us as far as defensively, and then we exploited it so that we could take advantage of, the situation and win the game. So basically, we would use the timing of the pitcher. We would use the way the catcher sets up, and we can tell what kind of pitch was coming. The timing of the pitcher, we can steal bases. We didn't steal off the catcher, we stole off the pitcher and his timing. Okay? We looked at the way people set up defensively, the outfielders, how they set up. And then we knew what possible area the pitch was going to be at. It's crazy, right? So if they all shifted to the right, we knew if a right-hand batter was up, that the pitch was going to be outside corner. Because why would they set up to the right side? Because they knew if a pitch was going to be outside, I'm going to swing late and hit the ball to the right side. If they shifted to the left, possibly they're going to pitch inside. They're not going to pitch outside, and they're all shifted to the left unless they know something, right? Maybe I'm just a pull hitter. All right, they have the intel on me. I'm a pull hitter no matter what. If the ball's outside, inside, high, low, I'm going to pull the ball to left field. So they will shift. So I'm studying this so I know. If I don't know and I just go into that game, we're just going to put our hats on the field and do what we got to do. Not having a strategy at that high level, most likely we're not going to win that battle, right? And the same applies to Christians today, right? With the enemy, Satan, the devil, right? If we don't know what he's capable of, and then we don't even know actually who God is and what he has available for us or what the word says, then most likely when a battle is approaching, we may not win that battle. So God saw this and also other characters in the Bible saw these things, and they wanted to bring it to our attention in today's time, right? So Paul, he wrote letters, right? And he put out there, hey, this is what Christians are doing, right? And we need to do A, B, C, D, so on and so forth in order to be successful, right? God puts us in a position to where we're going to be successful. He can't do it for us. He just puts us in a situation that we're going to be successful in life. And then what he does is he gives us hints and says, look, hey, I come that you might have life and then have it more abundantly. I'm just letting you know, right? But I can't just force you to live that life or even live it in abundance. You got to figure that out on your own. But I will say this, that no matter what you go through, I'm there and I have your back. When you pray to me, which I encourage you to pray to me, no matter what, my angels will be dispatched to come and help you and aid you.
Right.
These are the dangers of not knowing and not being equipped to stand in the midst of whatever you may be going through. Like I said, no strategy, no awareness, no plan, no offense, no defense, no goal, no preparation, no vision, and no discernment. The root of the problem is that Christians are being destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. Right? The lack of knowledge refers to the absence, deficiency, or unawareness of information, understanding, and insight in a particular area. It implies ignorance or being uninformed, which can lead to poor decisions, vulnerability, and prevent growth and success. All right? These are what this implements. Right? So, what else happens when you have no knowledge in this area? And this is not necessarily saying that you are just unaware, like you're just you're just like, oh, I just don't really know in that area. This is basically saying you have deflected or you have pushed away knowledge. You know there's a God. You know that there's things out there for you, but you choose not to go about them, or you choose to lean to your own understanding and go about things a different way. When God says, come straight to me, you go around the bend a few times, knowing that if you went straight to him, that things will be a lot better in your situation. Right? Or you question God. You go to church, you hear something, you question him. Well, if God is all this, why is things happening, bad to good people? Well, there's an answer to that. There's an answer to it, right? So when you start questioning God's his motives or what he has for us, then that's a problem, right? You're asking the question, but not seeking the answer.
That's good.
All right? So you're not getting the knowledge. That's what this implies. And when it says, so he says in Isaiah 5:13, because you have no knowledge, therefore my people have gone into captivity because you have no knowledge. Right? Meaning that you can't go to a certain level in your headspace. You can't comprehend certain things, or your mind won't allow you to, because you're so focused on this certain thing and you're not willing to get knowledge that's going to expand your mind, your thought process. That's why God says renew your mind, so that you can open it up, right, like a sponge, and receive the knowledge so that now you can participate in that victory. That's what God is trying to say. Now, the solution, which Paul talks about, is you got to get Bible knowledge. Bible knowledge in order to protect yourself from the enemy when you go through battles. Right? God already said it, that you're going to face trials and tribulations. He said it. But he also said, but I have conquered the world, so stand fast. Have peace, right? It's already taken care of. You might go through a little hurt, whatever. Pray to me. I got your back. I'm going to be right here with you, rubbing your back, making sure you good. All right? But if you don't know the word, how do you even know that? If you don't have the Bible knowledge, how do you know that you don't have to do it on your own? You don't have to take the hurt on your own. So Paul says in Ephesians 6:13 through 17, he says, Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God. This is what he's saying in order to help you or to protect yourself from the enemy coming to attack you. The enemy comes to us through thoughts, ideas, and suggestions. Right? And what it is he's trying to take you off task of God's will, your purpose, He makes you question it. So now I'm focused on the question instead of dealing with the answer. So Paul says these are spiritual battles. And then what he does is, so you can understand, he gives a example of the armor of a soldier. And he says, hey, this shield right here is a shield of faith. You have your helmet, which is the helmet of salvation. Your belt, right? Truth, right? So he puts these examples so you can understand. But take it out, and what you really have is salvation is what you need. Righteousness is what you need. Truth. And you need faith. And we've been talking about faith lately, right? And peace. And the Word of God, the Bible. These are the things that you need in order to protect yourself from the enemy coming to attack you. And if you've read the Bible, or you know something a little bit about it, you know the enemy is not scared on who he goes to try to attack. He tried to attack Jesus himself at his weakest point. But what Jesus did was he came back by speaking the Word of God. He kept saying, it is written. It is written. It is written. He didn't fly off the top of the head and just give some blah, blah, blah. He said, it is written. Yep, it is written. So you have to know Bible knowledge in order to protect yourself from the enemy coming to attack you. And here's the crazy part is the enemy said, yeah, I'll be back after you left. He said, I'll be back at another time. So bold, right? But that's what the enemy comes to do or tries to do to us. And that's what God was saying. He was giving us a warning, and he was saying, hey, wake up, Christians. Wake up. In order for you to live that life of abundance, you gotta protect yourself. You gotta know what's going on. You gotta know your enemy so that you can plan your attack or your defense. Right? Your offense or your defense, so you can survive it and put yourself in a situation to be successful. And that's what the warning is. That's my intro.